mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, or they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban Excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Good, what's good?
Peace.
Welcome back to the Urban X podcast.
Urban X.
We are in the building with you guys on this nice Monday evening.
Nice Monday evening.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was amazing. I went to what was supposed to be a drive-by baby shower, but it turned into an actual baby shower.
That's right. Facts.
I thought I had to throw the gifts out the car. I love you. And no, we were able to come in
And chill.
And there's some nice snacks, some family, some friends. I must say, wifey is carrying very, very well.
Yes.
She ain't got the nose crazy. Her feet ain't swollen. She's carrying very, very well. And we getting close. I can almost smell, like, the baby's almost done. He in the oven.
He's still cooking.
Yeah, see, this is the best part. This is the marinating part.
Yeah, don't rush him.
The gravies,
Yeah.
all the stews. You know what I'm saying? Getting that last bit of stew in there.
Yeah, we're not gonna rush him.
But it was great to see family and friends.
For sure.
And get a chance to celebrate with you guys under these conditions where you couldn't have the official.
Yeah, it was
what was considered an official shower.
Yeah, it was great to see everybody, man. Thank you for everybody, all my family and friends who came out, my tribe.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. I really showed out yesterday.
Really showed out.
We got a bunch of gifts that we're gonna open soon.
When is that?
Saturday.
That's Saturday. Are you doing a Zoom thing or just Urban X Live?
Urban X Live.
Beautiful. People can tune in
Yeah.
and see the gifts get open.
Watch us open our gifts and stuff.
And that'll be the final piece of just saying thank you
for sure
to everybody who continued to show support.
We got a lot of stuff, man.
And this is great. You're starting to look like a dad.
Yeah, man.
A little bit. You're starting to look like a dad a little bit. That's really, really dope. I don't know if I'm starting to look like a granddad.
See, that's what I'm trying to avoid right there.
Right there?
That's what I'm not trying to have.
Oh, man, this is good living.
Nope.
This is good living.
Nope.
Okay? That's what this is called. I don't care what nobody tell you, baby.
Nope.
And that's more pushing for the cushion, baby. More pushing for the pushing. Don't get it twisted. So, other than that,
we thank you guys for joining us.
As always.
Thank you guys for the people who are here on time, because we actually early today.
No, we're not.
9:30 or 9.
Yeah, 9-ish.
Okay, 9.
I always tell people 9-ish.
Okay.
If you like these wares.
Well, this one.
This one right here. This is the new A.A. Rashid piece. Is called the Larry Davis Gun Club. All right. 1-800-6-SHOT. Now, we don't promote killing cops under any circumstances, because that would be wrong.
Right.
But in the sense that there are bad cops out there.
Right.
Larry Davis handled his business. That's all we're going to say. In a time like now, you can get this at AARashidart.com. on Instagram.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A Rashid, A-R-T. You can get this. Sock it to his pockets. As he always says, sock it to my pockets.
That's funny.
So this is a dope piece. It feels good. It's got a nice little feel to it and stuff. So we honor our Bronx heroes. So this is a Bronx legend. And I remember New York City when this popped off. They shut the city down.
What year did that happen?
86, 87, somewhere along there. And they shut the city down looking for this one man. And the ironic thing is, after he bust off, he was in the crowd when they was giving their press conference that they was looking for him.
That's genius.
This is some old Keystone Cop-ish. He in the crowd. But, yeah, shout out Larry, who beat all the charges except an actual gun charge because you can't have a gun. So then they prolonged that. And then, you know, eventually, as he was getting close to getting out, I believe a white supremacist went in and finished the job up. Show you how intricate the police department is as a gang.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that more in depth today, as now their feelings are hurt about,
well,
we're going to take our ball and go home, which is basically what they're saying now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, other than that, the weekend has been great. You can get these wares
Shop Urban X.
at Shop Urban X.
Facts.
And it's free shipping. Did y'all know that?
It's free shipping, yes.
It's free shipping this month.
People was taking advantage.
Oh, people's taking advantage. I saw somebody already in the chat said they got their merch.
People was taking it. That was Domain Collins.
Oh, Domain, we appreciate that. Domain is like a regular. We gotta have like, what do you call it? Like
loyalty
points or something.
Points.
You know, when you build up, you buy enough stuff, and we just, you know what, just send Domain some shit. He's one of them kind of customers. So we appreciate that support. We hope all is well with you guys, and let's do this thing. Let's do this.
Oh, first shout out to Mass 528 for the donation, and shout out to Casbah for the donation as well.
Thank you.
Also,
and G-Rock just coming on in.
Also, shout out to don't want to mess this up. Shout out to him. He's a loyal watcher to the show. His name is Don Dada. It's his birthday today.
Shout out Don Dada.
His birthday today.
Today.
Yes. Wifey hit me up about it. She told me like they watch the show all the time.
Okay.
She hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. So I said, you know what?
Okay, so Don Dada, we ain't gonna forget that.
We're not gonna forget.
We hope all is well. We hope during this crazy time that nothing taints you making another solar return around the planet. Give me them herbs right there, sis. Them tinctures, because
before we get started.
Before we even get started, we gonna do this. Somebody sent us these tinctures. I always mess the brother's name up.
I'm gonna get it right now.
But it's called Tau Formulas, and he gave us pine pollen. He gave us moringa, and he gave us
the Tau Chi.
Yeah, the shilichi. This is all spiritual shit. So, you know, just kind of throwing that out there. You know what I mean?
We appreciate you.
And I used one of them already. I used the moringa. I was feeling bad one morning. I said, you know what? Let me just go right in. Bang.
Had that roll-roll?
No, I had the roll-roll. But my roll-roll is kind of like roll. It keep knocking like roll want to come through, and I keep busting it down. So we want to shout out the Tau Formulas. So we love to support when people give us stuff. And if I use it, I'll be the first to let you know. And I started using the moringa. I'll start using the other stuff soon.
Oh, also, real quick, Tyshawn Bridges said he's going to cop some merch. He has a baby coming tomorrow.
He has a baby coming tomorrow.
He said his lady surgery was successful. So shout out to your lady. And we got some surprises coming.
Oh, we got some surprises coming.
Yeah.
So remember, when he touched down, let us know.
Yeah.
So we can brief him and welcome to the Urban X Nation. Right. Because the Urban X Nation continues to grow. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
So let's get to it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So in preparation for this show, right? What did I tell you? I'm not talking about the George Floyd situation anymore.
Yeah,
I was tired of it.
I
was tired of it.
But
after 3 weeks, I'm like, fam. But I think now is a great time to have a conversation about the theme of the protests in general, because the theme has left George Floyd. If anybody's been paying attention.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody, every company, everything around you, just seeing Black Lives Matter, black everywhere.
Yeah.
I tried to play Call of Duty the other day. and it has a big black screen, and it says Black Lives Matter. You know, we can't get forward unless all that.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
If you say a racial slur, they can kick you off.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Even for us, like sometimes you got to get that off while you playing. Like,
yeah, my nigga. You know, we can't say that.
So okay. So, but I've been noticing, everybody is saying Black Lives Matter. That causes me to side eye. You know.
Okay, a little suspicious.
Skepticism off top.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The mayor in D.C. got a big Black Lives Matter thing painted in the street. Got a street name, like plaque, Black Lives Matter.
And it leads all the way to the White House. Her name is Muriel Bowser.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't want to flex my political muscle this early. But that Bowser's got to be kinfolk. Got to be. Who has the name Bowser?
Right, that's just true.
Right? There's not a lot of people who have that name, so I'm pretty sure that's kinfolk.
That's true.
And if she going at Trump, I'm going at Trump. Bowser stick together. So, you know.
You know what's crazy? When football camp one year, I actually met a white kid. His last name was Bowser.
He was your slave owner.
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Yeah. You definitely give it to him.
Just off GP. I don't know what the situation was, but I was just
let me give that to him. Yeah. LJ, appreciate the support.
Yeah. So, and again, like all these companies, it's become performative at this point.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So, I started noticing that. Then I started noticing a call to defund the police.
Yes.
Defund the police, disband the police. And again, that talk was confusing me because it was just kind of like, okay, I get, our problems with the police. I totally get that. Mm-hmm. But then, like, no police, like, what does that look like in a society? You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I already saw a snapshot of what, the riots and stuff, like, what that can mean.
With no order.
At all. What that can mean. So I was just like, I don't know if we want that, right? So, and then it came out that Minnesota is going to move forward with dismantling their police department. Again, don't know what that looks like. So, one of my friends, he actually hit me up with a few articles about community citizen patrolling, stuff like that. And it sounds great starting out, but then, again, it just sounds like that'll lead to a police department.
Dude, that shit sounds great for the community. Like, if you live in a gated community and me and you take shifts just to keep derelicts out, that don't sound good when people are robbing banks. They're rapists, they're murderers, they are drug traffickers, they are sex traffickers. How do we regulate that?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Facts.
All right? And I know what you're saying. You got to be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. And what we saw was a snapshot of what anarchy looks like when the police stand down. Now, I'm not for any the police department as it is currently constructed. We know has to be
right. For sure. Like, that's not what I was talking about.
Right. So that's not what we're talking about. Yeah. But to totally dismantle a police department, only two things I can say: either Minnesota was always going to be chosen for the spot for this all to go down, which further reiterates that this whole thing is a psyop, right? Or because you don't make moves like that. You don't just, you know what? Fuck it, you just don't do that. Yeah. That means that there has to be a plan that's in place to initiate something of this magnitude. Now, I saw a tweet by 19 Keys, shout out 19 Keys, and he said artificial intelligence. He said SkyTel. He said them robots, those police robots you see moving in the streets, get on the sidewalk. Is that where we're heading with the 5G? So, all of this stuff is sort of like lining up.
Yeah, so I don't know if, because when I saw the Minneapolis thing or the Minnesota thing, I was like, oh, okay, so if they do that and people just start to follow through, because even Cuomo said something about reforming the police department. There's something going on with the NYPD with the commissioner.
The commissioner is stepping down.
There's a rumor that he's stepping down.
Rumor he gonna step down. I wasn't too keen of him anyway. He looks like a white supremacist to me.
All of them.
Right.
Like the police, the guy from the union.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
So I don't know what that'll mean for policing. Are they just gonna say, okay, no more state police, now it's
Right.
America police, like all across the country.
And is that what they wanted from the beginning?
Right, right.
Because that, again, lines up with this one world order. If you got to have one world order, you got to have one world police department.
Right.
And along with the surveillance, first of all, let's not be confused. Let's say hi to these people in here who are making these donations. Octavius Densmore, thank you. Heed the Warning TV, thank you so much.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Yeah,
it did say Black
DC.
Lives Matter Avenue. You can see it. Yeah.
DC, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what was I saying now?
About doing one world order.
Right. So we got to be careful because that's where this thing appears to be heading, and this is what the future is. There are no accidents, and while we think we're breaking new ground, I told you these people are 2 and 3 paradigms ahead of us. The only way you can control so many people is to remain 2, 3, 4 paradigms ahead. You know what I'm saying? So as we embark on something new, or what appears to be new to us, they already understand. They've already done the calculations on where this is going and what this is about. Let's look at this whole chess game they're playing now. My first thing was when we were in quarantine. I was saying, okay, this is interesting. How are they going to get us out of quarantine?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, how? Because I'm always thinking, hey, how are they going to do this? And then this so happens to happen.
Nobody's wearing, like, everybody's outside.
Everybody's outside.
And then also, coupled with that, now there's either conflicting reports about the virus, which has always been. That's been my main argument about it, against it. Like, there's always something new coming out about it that conflicts what they just said 2 days prior.
Absolutely.
So now it comes out, Fox News just reported this story that the World Health Organization is saying asymptomatic people now are not the biggest risk to pass it on. It's very rare to pass it on now.
So why the hell was everybody in the house?
That was the reason why everybody was in the house.
Main
we
reason,
don't know who have it.
So we don't want you to give it to your grandma.
So stay
Big
inside.
Mama, remember, you don't want to give it to Big Mama. Come on now.
And Junebug.
Yeah. So stay in the house. And now they're doubling down. Where they're going reverse and saying, it wasn't that bad. Why? Because they have to justify all of these people outside with no mask on, even with a mask, and the mask doesn't protect you from corona. Millions and millions of people in every state are not only outside, they're bunched up together.
And then, first of all, it should have been obvious then, right? When at first they said only the N95 mask will protect you.
Right.
These cloth masks, they're not doing nothing. Now it's wear anything over your face.
Wear a scarf, wear a hat, anything you want to wear. So they are making this up in real time. But let me get back to my point.
Okay.
So I was wondering how they was going to do it.
Okay.
Like how they was going to transition us where now we're not even talking about COVID.
Right.
At all, because now our focus, just like a little puppy, now we're chasing another dog.
Right.
We're chasing a car. Right? We're a dog chasing a car. Now I'm saying to myself, well, the vaccine card hasn't been played yet.
Yeah.
They have been manufacturing, spending millions and millions of dollars. You think they're going to let all that go to waste because now you asymptomatic or don't know? How are they going to get you back onto that card?
Right.
Because they got billions and billions of dollars coming, right? So it's interesting how they're going to play this out to get us back in a position where now we need the vaccine. So they're going to give us the summer off, and then there's going to be another spike. And now before you know it, they got you back where we said we would not be. We just got finished saying, I ain't taking no vaccine, son. And now they hit you with a distraction, and they're going to bring you all the way back around the board, and then it's going to be about... So it's interesting how they lay this out. We were in the house saying
we wanted to be able to breathe.
We wanted to be able to breathe.
We wanted to go outside and breathe fresh air, and now we're marching, chanting over and over again that we can't breathe.
Wow, that is mind control 101. We want to breathe. Let us breathe. Now we can't breathe. Listen, these people are diabolical, and the way they laying this out in real time. This is going on in real time. So the police departments in Buffalo, I believe 57 officers resigned. Could be more by now because they were pissed off at their treatment for pushing down the old man. Now, the reason they were pissed is because Brass is telling them to do this, putting a battery in their back in their private meetings, obviously. Okay. And then when they get out there and do it, and the public response, Brass is now saying you can't do that.
Well, I don't.
So that's why I think they're going, yo. You telling us to do our job. This is a part of our job, and now we do our job, and you're pissed.
You know what's crazy? Because they even doubled down, and they said that the guy they pushed was the big troublemaker.
What? So what does that mean?
No,
does that mean he deserved to get pushed on his head and be bleeding out of his ear? No, I know what you saying.
That means, but that lends to your point that they amping him up, like, yo, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do out here.
Yeah.
You know, this is an agitator, so that you're gonna see police departments follow suit around the country.
Yeah, especially because NYPD been beefing with de Blasio for a minute.
They don't like de Blasio because they say he's not pro-police. But what is pro-police? That means stop and frisk.
Yo, you know what their budget is every year?
Their budget is crazy.
$6 billion.
Right, that's a lot of bread.
And the schools, like the school budget is
nowhere near. Teachers have to buy pencils.
That's a joke.
That is a joke to let you know. But we're in a police state.
Yeah.
And if you want to look how big the budgets are, right? So their job is 38,000 police officers in New York City. That's a lot of police officers.
That is.
Right? And I know it's hard to determine which ones is bad and which ones is good. I'm not going to sit up here and say every police officer is bad. There are no absolutes in any shape, form, but the culture in which police officers operate and the freedom in which they have to operate, we cannot dismiss that. Along with these crooked unions who protect them. And I told you they have a police brutality bond in every city, you know what I'm saying, based on how big the city is, that they trade on the stock market, right? So this is crazy. So your punishment and brutality is a part of the stock, and we'll talk about that later on because Fox made some moves and a couple of boo-boos with some things. And so this is the world that we are living in, right? Now you're going to get police commissioners saying, well, we out. You know what I mean? So they're going to have to bring in a federal police department or something that is civilian-based, you know what I mean, which is supposed to be more equally balanced on how people are treated. But racism is racism is racism.
Andrew Cuomo, I believe, he just came out with I don't know if it was Cuomo or it was, I think the Congress. I think it was Cuomo. And then it's some like police reform that they're trying to come. And it was a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was something like just a sweet, like, you know, general terms just thrown around everywhere. I'm actually going to find it for you.
Yeah, find that for us. So this is what's taking place around the country. And it's all being triggered by George Floyd, right?
Yes.
Or so they say it's being triggered by George Floyd. So we want to and let me tell you something else about this George Floyd situation.
It's actually being triggered by George Soros.
Yeah. Well, George.
Because if you do your research, there's a Black Lives Matter movement. That's the people. Then there's a Black Lives Matter LLC. That's the company.
That's the company.
Right. There is an actual.
And when you say Black Lives Matter, you might as well be saying George Soros is king.
Or just like
just phonetically.
Like, and you're like just promoting Pepsi basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is
you're
an actual,
promoting that shit like a brand.
That is an actual brand, right? You can go to their website. There's founders and all that. Because when I first just typed it in like years ago, I was like, wait, time out. Like, oh
yeah.
And they're founded by like 3 queer black women, I believe. And then now
who never mentioned anything about black men on their website and families and any of that stuff.
And also, it is June, which is Pride Month, right? So you're going to start seeing a lot of political pundits throw in the trans lives matter too.
Well, your man, Billy Porter, already came out.
He said something.
And he was like...
something. Kamala Harris said something as well recently.
So, you know, he really got in black men and black people, and he's associating the LBG community to black people and our 400-year plight in this country. You know what I mean? So from now on, white lives matter.
So you better chill. You better chill.
White power. I believe in those goddamn white folks.
Yeah,
I wish I had Michael Jackson disease, that vitiligo. That's what it is. I want vitiligo. Yeah, this is really off the rails here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So back to what I was saying about George Floyd.
Yes, go ahead.
Usually when a black man has an extensive criminal record, the way he does, right? Porn movies, armed robbery, caught with drugs, coronavirus in his system. It's really odd that the media is not mentioning any of that. The only one who mentioned that was Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Usually the media is all over that to justify what the police did. You see how the mind control works? The first thing they're going to tell you, oh, George Floyd, well, you know, he was arrested. Well, you know, he had drugs on him when they found him, and he was in some porn movies. We don't know about the character of this guy. They do that to persuade public opinion. I haven't heard Fox or CNN, unless I missed it, really discuss any of that. That's usually on the forefront of these kind of stories. So the fact that they're not mentioning that at all.
Yeah, everybody's on the same accord, which is...
And they're painting this man as a saint. Now, I'm not saying this man deserved to die, but this man is turned into a martyr because they can martyr who they want to martyr in the eyes of the general public. But my name is Black Dot. I ain't really falling for all of that. So you found that story you was looking for?
Yes. So Andrew Cuomo tweeted, New York State must pass the, quote, say their name, unquote, reform agenda. One of the points is make police disciplinary records transparent, ban chokeholds. I thought chokeholds were banned a long time ago. Prohibit false race and 911 reports and make them a crime. And the Attorney General must act as an independent prosecutor in police murders. Like how? What are you saying?
Now, all of that sounds great on paper.
That sounds corny. I mean, not corny in a sense that they're not really giving up anything.
Oh, no, they're not going to give up nothing. The police have to have a certain amount of anonymity on how they operate and do things. But even that's not going to happen, right? I told you, these people become police officers because it provides them a certain amount of protection to just go out and kill people. And if you think the Ku Klux Klan are not police officers and these Nazi groups are not police officers, you're sadly mistaken, right? So this gives them the open cover to come out and execute and hunt us down like animals in the streets. Now, what I am liking, and I'm hoping that this gains more momentum, people whose cases that were not really dealt with properly are now resurfacing. Say this one's name. Say that one's name. Did you know so-and-so?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping all of this comes to the forefront. It bubbles to the top. And these cases, including Breonna Taylor and so many others, can actually get dealt with. Because this system, as it is currently constructed, has to go. It just has to. It's no way, shape, form, or around it. We have to do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that what we see taking place doesn't.
It's weird, bro. I don't know what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's happening so fast.
It's happening fast, and then like I'm saying, like the narrative just keeps flipping, and like it's Black Lives Matter everywhere. All these businesses doing
it. And if y'all don't think that's weird, brothers and sisters, come on.
And then again, another thing, something else everybody's on the same accord about. You would think it's 2016, the way everybody's at Trump's neck again.
Right.
Everybody. You remember when he was running, it was Republicans that didn't like him, Democrats, everybody.
Right.
Nobody. Then now it's the same thing.
Because it's election year.
It's like everybody. So again, I don't know what that's setting up. Again, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you are, of the belief that there's two different factions of,
right. Yeah.
these people going at it, right now you have to just kind of watch a chess move being played. You know
Absolutely. In real time.
In real time.
And I'm always telling our brothers and sisters, be in it but not of it. You know what I mean? Meaning pay attention to what's going on, but this doesn't really concern you unless you want it to concern you, right? So what I mean by that is, even, and I gotta say this because last week I didn't want to give the impression that everybody out on the street is a part of a psyop. Even within that, the spirit of the people still has the ability to change the narrative of things. There are actual brothers and sisters out on the street young people who are initiating what they feel will be the change in this country. So I want to big them up for doing that, but I also just wanted to point out you got to be careful because your movement can be co-opted by those who have a whole other agenda, and they steer you because now it's about something totally. Little white girls in the middle of rural America, one person protesters. They're little girls with signs that say Black Lives Matter on the lawn in Idaho. This is ridiculous. This, that doesn't make much sense to me.
I was also about to say,
Donna Sheriff, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
damn, I forgot I was. But I also wanted to point out that the George Floyd funeral happened.
Right, the George Floyd official funeral.
And we were talking earlier, right? Because I was seeing some early pictures. I'm like, yo, how come anytime these I don't really like funerals, but anytime these like big profile deaths happen, there's always a closed casket.
Right.
And then I saw pictures of the casket open. I didn't see the body, but I saw pictures of the casket open. I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay, cool. And then you pointed out, I thought he had COVID. So how is this an open casket with somebody who has COVID? Weird.
Unless I'm missing Janelle, Naomi, thank you, and Donna Austin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unless the COVID becomes, I don't know, is it deactivated once you die?
I thought no, because remember the early reports of this.
Yes.
In China, they were saying burn the bodies.
They was burning their bodies because you had COVID. But come to find out, even Germany just released a report. I'm pretty sure the people in the chat are up on it that said this is more like a bacteria. So all of the hype, they just toned it down, right? The German officials toned this down. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot to digest and it's a lot to process, all at the same time. But watch how they move you back on this. They're going to put you back on schedule, and you're going to be talking about vaccines very shortly. Damn. They're probably going to give you the summer off. You can get a concert. Damn. Jay-Z and Biden to give a concert.
He's giving the concert.
They're going to give a concert, right? So they'll give a concert, and, the NFL will come back, and the NBA, and you have wine and entertainment, just like in Rome. They took away your wine and entertainment to stress that this was a serious thing.
Right.
You don't take away niggas' wine and entertainment. This must be serious.
Yeah.
So then, it's serious. We better stay in the house. Then they saw that wasn't working, right?
Right.
And now they said, it's getting hot. We can't have all these people cooped up in their house. So then they gave you the George Floyd situation, and everybody rushed outside and joined forces for a cause greater than anything we've ever seen. This is actually year one after 400 years of slavery, or so-called slavery, from 1619 to 2019. So as Red Pill said, this is the Jubilee year. This is the year one in which we began rebuilding ourselves. Of course, the Moors would give us a whole different history of who we are, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. But you're not going to deny the fact that so-called black people, because black is you know what I mean,
right,
have suffered a lot in this country. So this is year one of a new cycle. Hopefully. So this is popping, right?
Yeah.
This thing got popping quick.
To go back to your point about co-opting movements, BET invited Trump and Biden to have some debate on their channel, and then you realize like BET is not even black owned.
It's not black owned.
And then there's gonna be a new march on Washington in August.
Really?
Yeah, and I was telling my friend, because my friend was excited about it. I said, pay attention to who speaks at this march on Washington.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, it's brand building. Now, there's a lot of money to be made in activism.
Comcast just gave up $100 million, right?
Comcast, yeah. They pledged $100 million to underserved communities, communities of color and stuff like that. And also, watch out for that language as well. I told you about the people of color thing. They're not saying black people. No company is saying black people.
Right. They keep saying people of color.
Because Asian people consider themselves people of color.
Yeah. Spanish, even the Dominicans who don't rock with us, they color.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not saying black people. Watch out for that as well.
Side note, I just saw a post that said Young Pharaoh's video moved 1.5 million views in 4 days.
Which one?
The last one he put up.
Yeah.
Now, somebody emailed me and asked me, is Young Pharaoh in trouble? And I will say this, I hope not, right? So what I'm putting out to you, brothers and sisters, is we need to put a halo of protection around this young brother Pharaoh. I don't care if you agree with how he delivers his message. You cannot tell me he's not passionate about what he's saying, and you can't tell me he hasn't done his research. He has. All right? So we have to move out of this person who, I had beef with this and that. All of that stuff is low vibration stuff. We collectively, and me and my wife talked about this last night. So I'm glad somebody in the chat kind of reminded me. I said, we got to put a message out, a positive message around the work he's doing, because 1.5 million views in 3 or 4 days, that's a lot.
That's a lot of eyeballs.
That's a lot of eyeballs saying, who's this young brother? And, what is he doing? So we want over here at Urban X, you can do what you want to do. We want to send out a positive message and put a halo around this brother so he can do his work. We all got work to do in different capacities and this and that. So while that brother is doing his work, we want to shout him out and put that protection around this brother so he can do his work.
So with that being said, you want to go to commercial break?
Yeah, let's get an early commercial.
Early commercial break, and then we'll come back.
And then we'll come on back and rock a little bit.
Keep giving it to you.
Keep giving it to you. Icons. Celebrities covering one eye who are sworn to secrecy to mislead the masses into a life of negativity by way of destructive behaviors, i.e. drugs, sex, violence, etc. Most of these celebrities you see in the music industry and in Hollywood have taken a sworn oath to protect what they have going and to have you being misled by using drugs, violence, and all of these other crazy behaviors. Be careful. Beware of those who are pointing at one eye, covering one eye, or trying their best to shut down your first eye. Log on to urbanx.nyc for the latest in apparel, or shop urbanx.com to pick up the latest in our not so subtle teas, and we thank you for your support. Peace. And
we are back.
And let me let y'all get a full look at this. Yes. You know what I mean? Because I could tell I have my computer screen up. You know what I'm saying? 1-800-6-SHOT. You know what I mean? Letting off. You can go to AA Rashid Art on the gram and sock it to his pockets. Sock it to his pockets. It's AA Rashid Art, A-R-T.
Also,
at the gram.
David Edmonds, thank you for the donation.
David Edmonds, all right.
Good donation.
All righty. So, we are
You
back.
are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, if you've been checking out the news, the Democratic Party was on TV. They had a press conference in Kente garb in their stalls.
Hotep.
Taking knees.
They was taking knees.
Oh my God. Some people had the Kente mask on.
Bro, if you don't understand symbology and what's going on here, you're losing it. It's no way possible these Europeans are going to take a knee unless you are about to be ascended back into your positions of nobility. See, that's another way you got to look at it, besides them making mockeries and kneeling down from a world perspective. Wow, all of these white people are forgiving. You know, they're asking for forgiveness. Yeah. They're apologizing about what's going on. They're taking knees and they wearing kente.
That was embarrassing.
Nah, that was super duper embarrassing. That was super duper embarrassing, but you got to pay attention to what it means symbolically. Remember, there's a symbol meaning, there's a literal meaning, and a lot of times they almost go polar to each other. When you saw Trump outside with the Bible upside down and you assumed that it was one thing and he was pledging or showing his alliance to, you know, something else, and, you know, they put the Hitler picture there. That's the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? To try to connect, you know, make these connections. And it's a lot deeper than this. And this is why people like A.A. Rashid, Asir the Duke of Tears, Red Pill, Blue Pill, and so many, Phil Valentine, they're always talking to us about the symbol literacy of these things so that we don't get caught in the literal presentation of what we're seeing.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I was embarrassed.
Yo, it was,
you know,
again,
for the public. You know,
we talk about performative, and I don't know who asked for this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what black people are asking for politicians to wear the Kente stoles. Like,
right.
I wore that for my graduation, bro.
Right.
Like,
who okayed that?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, and I think we should all, as a people, be insulted. Again, these people are so tone deaf in what they're trying to do.
Right. And it's so obvious. And then there's a disrespect for us who know what time it is. They just think, let's all get out. You know what? Let's all go out there in Kente cloth and tell these black people we're sorry for what happened. Let's take a knee. And I told you that knee stuff is already weird.
Yeah.
It's you know,
like, since when is first of all, like, in my opinion, the black fist is always a symbol of strength and black solidarity.
Right.
I don't know when a knee became that.
And that was my disposition with Old Boy.
Right, number 7.
I'm like, since, you know, this is revolutionary to take a knee and submit. And I'm like, we do that in football when Pop Warner and somebody get hurt, but never in the history of anything I've seen in terms of strength related to who we are and our struggle and our plight in this country have I ever seen taking a knee, because that's what we did around white people on slave plantations. When the slave master came through, sometimes you had to take a knee.
Yeah, and
you don't ever look me in the face, boy. You look down and you take a knee.
I was just watching Game of Thrones with Eli, and then they said to bend the knee, that means you submitting to me.
That's what it means.
You're bending the knee like you are, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it always meant. So by them doing this, are they saying they submitting to our will as the original people, and it's time for us to ascend back to our throne? Are they also shouting out the police officers? Because, you know, that is, I know that's what the police officers did when they took a knee. You know what I'm saying? They shouting out their boy like, nah, son. Yeah, you niggas don't know what's going on. We look submissive. So it's a lot of different things going on that we, you know, don't start sleeping.
Yeah.
Don't start sleeping.
That's what's happening. People, I don't know, we get just so impressed with these little gestures. And again, I even said this on Twitter.
This is equivalent to hot sauce in your bag.
That's probably worse.
This is worse. This is worse. When Hillary Clinton said that, and black people was like, oh, that's my girl. This is worse. You got pure Europeans who probably raped and pillaged where the Kente cloth came from. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, now y'all wearing Kente cloth? Ouch.
And did you see the way, like, the way they, I feel like there's something in that too.
Oh, in their formation.
Yeah.
In the formation that they laid out there, and took that knee was also deep.
I was like,
Very, very deep. So let's keep an eye on that. But again, with everyone apologizing, with all the money coming through, with all the billboards going up saying, we're sorry for what we did to black people.
But we're sorry.
We're sorry. We've been raping, murdering, torturing, castrating, beating you for 400 years, and now we're sorry.
There's Confederate statues coming down.
Confederate statues coming down.
The U.S. Marine Corps, they are banning like all images of the Confederate flag, which is like you thought would be like they would
a no-brainer.
Right? Confederacy was basically a foreign nation that we were fighting against, and they lost.
Yeah.
And you're gonna
or did they lose? Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So
it's so many layers to this, but in the South, remember, that's a mindset that is still there. You are a bunch of niggers, and you always will be in our eyes. And, you know, there's so much corruption going on. I believe in Alabama, one police department had like 1,000 arrests that have to be overturned because they was planting drugs on people. Listen, we understand the level of corruptness that goes up under this Confederate flag. So to see these symbols come down, it is a symbol, but what's next? Is it the one world order that's next? Is it everyone making the same money with the same amenities across the board? Where are they going
that's the question.
with this, right?
That's the next question.
Because they're wiping out middle-class America with all the businesses.
Yes.
They just going to clean all that out. So it'll be the haves and the have-nots and those of us who have the ability to make a few dollars online. Side note, social distancing didn't start with Corona. It started with the internet.
Right.
Just think about it.
True.
The internet took all of us off the streets. You know what I'm saying? Connecting. The kids don't even go out and play. PlayStation, all that's a part of the internet aspect. And then now everyone is staying home. So remember, they do these things in steps. So social distancing, why do you think it was so easy to tell everybody to stay home? It really wasn't hard. Like, it really happened like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we have already been conditioned for it. So when they just throw the term out there, social distancing, you know what I mean? So understand these things go in layers, and they will continue to go in layers. Thank you, Wayne Freeman. Got to look past the layers and focus on getting that economic freedom. Absolutely.
And Chief Wahoo, thank you. The revolution is being televised. That's a fact.
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yeah. Oh, AAYC, that's my son.com. That's my sun.com. If you don't go to his gram, that's my son.com. Wanted to put that out there. People in the chat were asking.
I just put it in chat.
Okay, perfect.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Michael Jordan just pledged. Did we talk about this? But Michael Jordan, he just pledged to $100 million in these areas, underserved areas and things like that. And this is probably the first time he's ever actually stepped out and done something like actually
of this
political.
magnitude.
Yes,
right.
political. But there's a catch to it.
Oh, give me the catch.
Catch to it. So for the people who actually read the article, and this is my boy pointed out yesterday, he said that it said Jordan committed Jordan Brand to donating $100 million.
Okay.
Right? So it's not his personal money, it's his business's money. So what he's going to do is keep putting out sneakers that you're gonna buy.
Yeah, and you're gonna pay for it.
And then he's just gonna pay. He's gonna give you your money back into the community, and he's just gonna use that as a tax write-off, and it's brilliant.
That's what all these business people do who donate this kind of money. Now, let me ask you: did he trump LeBron now?
Nah.
With, LeBron has been on the activist level doing what he's doing, but now off the strength of the 10-part series, which refocused our energy on Jordan, his image, his brand as being the greatest, did he just trump LeBron by putting $100 million down?
LeBron just opened the school, bro.
Okay, but I'm just simply saying,
Nah.
$100 million.
I mean, his business is worth
million.
His business is worth billions.
Okay, I'm just asking.
And then again, like I just said, the people is paying $100 million basically.
Yeah, but I'm still asking.
No. Mm-mm.
Because the last time Jordan gave money, he gave to the police,
He did.
and he gave to Black Lives Matter, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
that was the most weirdest, on the fence move ever.
If you go back and read that statement when it came from Jordan, when he gave money to both parties, if you just read the language he put in the letter, he probably didn't write it, but whoever wrote it, he approved it.
Yes.
He said, we want to get from like these senseless killings of black people and these murders of police officers.
Right. Absolutely.
The language right there is very telling to
Very
how
telling the
you
way he
feel.
stands. Mau, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For that donation. Yes.
That's telling.
That's very telling. Very, very telling.
Killings and murders, like you get two different like images in your head, like oh.
And now we have Comcast.
Yes, Comcast also just committed to $100 million.
So does that mean Byron Allen was correct?
Like that's literally what he was just fighting for, right?
Because Byron Allen, if memory serves me, was fighting against Comcast for equality in racial disparities that were going on. Mm-hmm. He lost,
Yes.
right? And then they turn around
Say now he was right.
and say he was right by putting $100 million down.
Yep.
Right? Sort of like the NFL
What Cap?
apologized,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then, we ain't agreeing, but we apologize.
Yeah.
That's weird with the Cap
And
situation.
then and then again, we just so impressed by now. I'm seeing arguments like, see, NFL apologize. They need to give Cap his job. After all of this, we circle back around to
a
his
job. Yeah.
That he does not want.
Yeah. Again, the chasing the carrot, how easy it is to manipulate us into, because the original cause was about something totally different, right?
I'm tired of it.
So
I'm tired of
how they shift your consciousness is easy breezy. So look at it for what it's worth, because this is a multi-level chess game. They said Trump is a 3 or 4 dimensional chess player.
I want to see what that looks like.
And I didn't know what that was, but I wrote about that in Hip Hop Decoded. Before I even understood what a 3-4 level chess game was. And to break it down in layman's terms, I said the first level of the board is athletes, rappers, from our perspective, actors, and the hip hop mogul would be the king or the queen, you know what I mean, depending on the situation. Jay Brown, thank you.
Thank you.
Right? And your rappers are your pawns, they can be disposed of as you see fit, producers, this, that, and that. The second level of the board was the, police department, politicians, corporations, you know what I mean, and those who control the lower level of that board. The third level of the game would be, third degree, your Masonic orders, you know what I'm saying, and those who truly control, you know what I'm saying, that kind of aspect. The fourth level of the game, I would say, would be, let's say, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, those who are above reproach, right?
So you're saying by the time it's that level, Diddy is a pawn at that level?
Absolutely. So the higher up the game goes, the king on the lowest level, on the second level, he may be a rook, a bishop. By the third level, he is a pawn that when they push that piece off the board, it trickles down and has an effect on everything else down at the bottom. The fifth level of the game would be your reptilians. I don't even want to get into that aspect of it, right? So, but just what I was trying to say in the book was, the people who are around watching the game, that's us. The spectators of the game who disappear, who are affected, based on the moves of the game. Because we're watching the game, but we don't know we're in the game. You know what I'm saying? So this is how intricate this thing goes. So I'm assuming when they say Trump or his son, either one of them, is a 4-dimensional chess player, you have to understand that there are levels to the game. There are moves made on level 4 that have an effect on level 1. There are moves made on level 1 that has nothing to do with level 2 or 3 and can have no effect on that.
Because I was saying, like, if the overall goal, and we don't know what this end game is here, but I'm saying, like, I'm hearing about defunding the police. So if the overall end game was to disband police, so we can have just one unified police across the country, that move is over here. But from the coronavirus, which is seemingly unrelated, that's over here, like way far, super removed.
Yes.
And so many things had to happen for that domino effect to
and what you got to do is you got to stack the board.
Yeah.
So you got to put Corona where it is, down on the lowest level with the people. Then you got to put the next level, the media, and how they're going to move your opinions. Then you got to put the Masonic secret societies
up. Gotta line up.
Who's gonna line up? And then you gotta put the Rothschilds and them who move all the game. Then you gotta go reptilian. Gotta go reptilian.
Okay.
All right. So all of these moves on the board at the same time. That if you just on one level of the game and you just at the bottom level, you getting shitted on. You know what I'm saying? They just moving you around as they see fit. So we have to understand and begin to expand our consciousness exponentially so we can just kind of see everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? From a Kabbalistic perspective, AA would say, the kingdom and Malkuth, down here at the bottom, and what happens on the left side of the pillar could affect the right side of the pillar. So it's a very deep, complex game that's being played among people in high places. So there's a spiritual war up top, and then there's the physical residue of that spiritual war at the bottom, right? So how the Bible says these are wicked wars of spiritual people in high places. Believe that is true. But at the bottom, the residue of that, where the masses are asses who just, they just, falling for whatever goes on. So brothers and sisters, you are now 4- and 5-dimensional chess players, all right? And create that chart in your mind of the ground level what happens above the ground level where the media is and their control, and then your secret societies, and then there might be a new king.
Oh, King John the
Yeah,
Third.
yeah, who knows? And
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole I started going down today, and I didn't have enough time.
yeah. So
I was like, whoa.
we'll delve into that. So,
Yeah.
you know, and this is an old country, you know what I'm saying? And power being shifted, you know, from one end to the next. But we are in the midst of a paradigm shift, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to know where it's going.
Yeah.
To the best of my ability, where this shit is going.
Yeah, so a lot of people are learning a lot of black people are learning a lot about their history as this is happening as well.
This is the most awakened period I've seen in a very, very long time. And I mean that in a great sense of the word, that people are now, because if we are in the age of information, as they say we are, that means that by default, there are people who may have been asleep who are now awakening and just asking questions. Once you ask questions, that leads to more questions and more answers. Anybody who don't ask questions, they just following what their governments say, then those are the ones who are just gonna, you know, get washed away. Questions. That's all we're saying. Let's ask questions. I don't have all of the answers. I just want to ask some questions amongst who I consider family. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can work this thing out together. Let's get these likes up.
Oh, facts.
We have 1,400 in the chat, 1,500, and we only got 500 likes. That's only 33%. Let's get these likes up.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Wipe your feet when you come on in.
Oh, so getting back to, you know, the vaccine thing, Melinda Gates, wife of Bill Gates,
Wife. Yeah.
she said that once the vaccine is created, that after essential workers take it, that black people and poor and people of color need to be the next ones in line
Yeah.
to take it.
Yeah.
And then she's masking it around, you know, the buzzword talks. These people have been unrepresented, unfunded.
And they're highly affected in these poor communities. So we want to make sure, this is the way she worded it, we want to make sure there's not a bidding war on who gets the vaccines. Because, you know, based on a bidding war, rich people could get it first. But we're not going to allow that to happen over here at the Gates Foundation. We're going to make sure poor black people get the vaccine first.
And then, you know what that does? Because remember, you talked about last week that this is the first time white people have felt on equal footing with us.
They have.
That
based on being in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, black people got to get it first? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Get that.
Absolutely.
Get that, dude. Please.
Please, black people, go out there.
And again, we've been apologizing for how we've been treating you guys.
Right. So this is our way. This is a gesture.
Take my ticket.
Right. Take my ticket and go on in there.
Go first.
And see what happens. You know, and so this is where we're at now. And Melinda's saying this with a straight face. Because what they do know, because I haven't heard from Fauci.
I've heard he's
in and out.
Yeah.
But because the way the script is written, like a movie, y'all gonna go off the camera, off the screen for a while.
For scene 2 and 3.
For scene 2 and 3, and we'll bring you guys back
for Act
2.
Yeah.
You know, for Act 6 when we move back and the plague is now back, and now you guys are on the forefront. Because notice they just vanished.
Yes.
Right? They were on the news every single day about how important it is for this and that, and then they moved away, and old George came out. Side note, and I don't know if this is true. Somebody sent me an image. Remember we showed you the Captain America image?
Yes.
Where you had the Corona bottle over one shoulder and what appeared or looked to be like a coronavirus over the left. But further to the right was a sign. Somebody sent it to me in that billboard. And in that billboard it said, by George, I think we've done it. So if that's what that says, over to, you see where the Corona beer is, over to the right, a little further. I don't know in the image if it's a clear image and you can see it. But if that says that, blow it up. You know, wifey's gonna blow it up for us. If it says by George, I think we've done it, then this is getting spookier.
It's been spooky.
No, but this really gets spookier if that's what it says. So it's over to his right. It's another billboard. You know, you see where the red circle is over his right shoulder. somebody sent me a blown up image of another billboard.
Blowed up?
Blowed up. It was blowed up.
It was blowed up?
It was blowed up. And if that says what they told me it says, by George, I think we did it, then this is getting spookier and spookier.
My goodness.
By the minute. Just a side note. When I tell you you're in the middle of a simulation,
Jesus.
shit, you're in the middle of a simulation. Right? So with that being said, we talked about Belinda Gates.
Yes.
I want to talk about Fox News put up what the reparations
Yes.
amount would be
Yes.
if we hit that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And me, you know, I was doing my taxes and pay off that and put something aside. And I got to get a Cadillac. I told you that.
Right.
I got to get me a Cadillac.
Right.
And I believe it's $340,000
A household or?
a household or per person. And there's 42 million people involved with this. And they said it's going to be based on income, education, and some other things. So if you only got a GED like me, I got a GED. They might cut into my bread. I hope not, because I am an upstanding citizen. So for Fox to put this up saying that the total would be 14.7 trillion, for them to even put this up means that somebody somewhere has been working out these numbers. You heard? So this could get real interesting. So I know Tariq Nasheed has already probably got the list of who's on the list. You know what I'm saying? The ADOS probably got their list. And I know I always talk about ADOS and FBA, and I'm not involved.
And B1
And B1, but when they start cutting these checks, Tariq, put my name on the list. You know, I'm FBA, I'm ADOS too. I'm all of y'all. Just make sure I get my check. And I'm rich, bitch. You know, so that's how that's going to break down. And I thought that was interesting.
It is interesting.
Right? 340 racks.
That's a lot of.
I mean, it's.
I mean, you could do something with it.
That's not when in the grand scheme of all that my ancestors have been through. It's a drop in the bucket. It's like $20. However, if that came with us being in a position, right? Because what we talk about is we want to be in a position to get a start where we can economically help ourselves. Now, if you're just going to take that $340,000 and give it right back to white America, and now you can't even purchase a home with $340,000.
Certain places you can. There's actually a town in Georgia.
The whole town is up.
It's like $1 million.
1.7 million.
Yeah.
You can buy the town. That means me, you, we can get together. I could be like the president of the town or the ruler. The ruler.
See, this is what happens.
Of the town.
This is what happens. You think
go and have
a black town is just gonna be amazing? He just named himself the ruler that fast. Ain't even buy it.
Yeah. That's
He said,
listen,
the ruler.
I'm trying to get my money with a few other brothers and sisters, and we can own this town. But $340,000, you can't buy a home in New York City. You can't buy no home with that shit.
Certain places you can,
dude.
We're not in New York City, no.
Now, in other places,
yeah.
But after you buy your home, then what? So now, all of your ancestors, this is what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make. So after all your ancestors been through, you're going to buy a house?
Yeah.
So no, we have to pull that resource. This is where Claude Anderson comes in. This is where Dr. Boyce Watkins comes in, right? We got to pull those resources. Everybody, when we say tithe, you need to tithe half that. Right, and start building infrastructure.
Yeah.
Don't, because you're already trying to get you a little house.
Yeah,
No.
I already spent that in my head.
That's already gone. You already carried the one, brought down. I get it, because my Cadillac, the one I want is a buck. This is the big boy. You know what I mean? So they gonna be in the meeting like that. Listen, I need a Cadillac. That shit y'all talking sound great on paper, sir.
That's
no,
funny.
but understand, we have to build economic infrastructure, something that empowers us for the next 400 years, because that money could be going like this.
Yes.
Right? Like that. You saw the Dave Chappelle skit where he bought the cigarette truck. Now my family got cigarettes for life, son.
Yeah.
So we don't want to make that mistake, because then it would just make us look foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we already are economically not illiterate, but we're behind the 8 ball. that money really needs to go. I'm gonna go out on a limb. It's 340. Is that 350,000? What'd that say?
350,000.
All right, I'm gonna literally say everybody should take the 50,000 and put it in their pocket, and the 300,000 needs to go into some kind of pool. You know what I'm saying? Whew. It's like a stock market pool where your money, it's your money.
Yeah.
So you're watching your 300,000 grow because you're talking about generational wealth.
That is
the only
generational
way that
wealth.
shit work, and I'm not preaching off the soapbox. The only way that works is if the 300,000 turns into 300 million over the course of 10, 20 years, so that for the next 400 years, all the pain and suffering you've been through, you now have an economic opportunity to jump ahead. That's all I'm saying. And I can't get the Cadillac with the 50, but I can put a down payment on it. And stretch my payments out over 12 years. Do they have a 12-year payment on that? 13,000.
Yeah.
I'd like to finish paying for this over 90 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on my slave ancestors. Because now you can walk into a dealership as a black man, and they probably kneel on one knee. Yo, we apologize. You know what? We ain't even going to run your paperwork, sir. You can go ahead, just put down that down payment. And normally we allow 5 years to pay off a vehicle, 15 years for you, sir. Just pay it off when you feel like it. All right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
didn't even think about that, yeah.
Also on Fox News, they had to apologize.
Oh, yes. This was deep.
They made a boo-boo
This was deep, yeah.
by showing the stock market rise and fall based on every time a black man, an unarmed black man,
Every time one of these deaths becomes like a big story.
is gunned down by the
Yeah.
police. They even took it all the way back to Dr. King. This is how deep this was. And what happened to, because you're nothing but product to them, but you control the stock market. This is how powerful we are, even in not understanding this. So they showed Trayvon Martin all the way up, Ron Brown, every time one of these killings take place, and how the stock market fluctuates based on this. So death is big business. The death of black individuals in particular, including our women, is big business. They rocking us to sleep in Louisville. Love you guys. Well, let's stay on point. So you see the chart, and they showing, Russell Clark, appreciate you. They showing you on this chart.
Yeah.
How this fluctuates up and down. We know the prison industrial industry, and now you're seeing in real time when they kill us and our reaction to it, how the stock market goes up. So those who are playing the stock market are actually hoping this shit happens.
But how do you get to a point where you know something like that? You know what I mean?
Because those who understand numbers and who are watching the stock market based on events, you know what I mean? You get people who just go, damn, every time, because remember, when it happens and it happens again, that means that there is a pattern going on. So to understand how that works, you got to understand patterns. So they understand that every time a black man, you know, and people are uproar, the stock market jumps or does this or does that. It might be based on the looting and, you know, the insurance that goes into the looting, you know, to reimbursement, the police hours. It could be a number of things associated with that. But they had to apologize because it was very insensitive to put a number on death of black people like that. But that is an unwritten rule that they all know about.
That's crazy.
Gil Brown, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support.
Thank you for the donation. And this is Mario Garcia. Thank you.
Yes, Mario. We appreciate all that support.
Facts.
Malcolm need Pampers.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, as a result of the Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know if it's as a result of this was coming down the pipe anyway, but after, you know, the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, did you watch it on Netflix?
No, I did not watch it.
A few of my friends watched it. They didn't realize how much of a monster that dude was.
Oh, okay.
But the U.S. is requesting that the U.K. give up Prince Andrew so they can question him about his involvement.
Oh, okay. Now this is getting juicy.
This is getting juicy because, like, if you realize, if a lot of people didn't realize that, they kind of just, the royal family just kind of just
push that down like, nah,
put him in the basement, like,
right.
So I think that's interesting. I don't think the U.S. would get anywhere with him because he's a foreign.
but you never know. Why are they even suggesting that?
True.
You know what I mean? So somebody in the chat said the original stock market was based on black people. You are absolutely correct.
Very correct.
So it goes to show you that not much has changed when they start speaking about product.
It's a good
and
point.
it's a very good point to be made. So Epstein's situation, the rabbit hole is so deep because I saw what appeared to be the leaked flight records. And I saw a lot of names on that.
Yeah, you know, they had Chris Tucker trending on Twitter last week because people they just saw the documentary and saw that he accompanied Epstein on the jet with I think Kevin Spacey to Africa, but it was for some
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
That's your man?
No, not my man, but I'm saying, yeah.
You know
Casa Sosa, that was a dope movie.
Yeah. So and then people were trending because but if you watch the doc, even though the women, she was like, oh, nothing happened this trip, but so I don't know.
So she says.
True.
Right? Listen, this Hollywood thing is deep, right? And we know for years, did the Russell Simmons documentary ever come out?
It did.
It did.
Yeah,
I didn't hear no buzz about that. So it just kind of came in and left.
I didn't see it.
All right. So this Hollywood thing, we know that's the nature of what goes on in Hollywood. Now, is that to suggest everyone in Hollywood is with that? I don't know. But that's the way they get down in Hollywood. And so all of this stuff is being uncovered. We already know this. Go see Out of the Shadows. There are a couple of great documentaries that are just scratching the surface that, and the Epstein situation is real deep because he was well connected.
Scary connected.
Right? So you're going to start seeing, because I saw Jay-Z's name in the flight charter. I saw Beyonce's name on the flight charter. If that is a official leaked document of the flight chart.
Yeah, because people keep saying Anonymous is back. I don't think that's really them, but I don't want to say nothing just in case they get me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We now have Malcolm's records.
I just don't think that's really
We now
them.
have Black Dot's Porn Hub certifications and subscriptions. And I tell you,
bunch
it
of
is
blondes.
a lot of Chinese midgets. Even Anonymous is disgusted at Black Dot's choice of women. You know what I mean? So I want to calm down on Anonymous just in case.
Yeah, my fault.
Right? Just
That's
in
funny.
case. So that's what's going on with that.
Yeah, I wonder what comes of that.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Terry Crews is back in the news. He's back in the conversation.
Oh boy.
Because as during all the melee of the protests and everything, he tweeted, "Defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Love it or not, we're in this together."
Oh, can't we all just get along? Is that what he's saying? But that's in line with what they're talking.
What you mean?
Right? White people saying, we're sorry and we're going to help you get out of this situation. But I'm not surprised he would make a statement like that.
Yeah, it creates black supremacy. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude. You just went from one extreme to the next.
Yeah.
How about we just get on equal playing ground? How about that? How about we judge people by the character, the content of the character, and not by the color of their skin?
Who's like that?
Peach. Who's that? Martin. Yes. Yeah, Martin. I get them confused sometimes. Yes. So, but I'm not surprised he would make these kind of statements. Dude, let us have our moment. Yeah. Like as big as a black man as you are, stand up on your nuts.
He has.
You know what I'm saying? Just be like, yo, this is our moment, because I'm gonna give it up to Ice Cube. A few of them have been letting off just regular shots. None of that. We all need to get along shit. They've been letting off shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's enough of this craziness. You know what I'm saying? And you white people who have benefited from racism, that does not mean every single white person is a racist. It simply means the system is in place in which you have benefited from racism.
And you enjoy
And
it.
you enjoy it. Yes,
Stop
I'll
fighting.
take that again.
Yeah.
You come back down, would you like to be black or white? I'll take that white thing again with all of the benefits that come. Yeah, we'll double down on that, right? So let's not act like you don't. Dot sounded like the dude in the
Fugees.
in the Fuji skit. What skit was that?
I don't know.
Fuji skit? Oh, okay. Let's hope that was a funny.
I don't know. Somebody said, bro, does Terry Crews even have a Y chromosome? I don't know.
That's a great
I don't know,
question.
'cause he
Everything
be-
included. That is a great. I don't think he has the Y chromosome because he don't let it off
At all.
ever. As
At
big
all.
and strong. And I heard that movie he was in was terrible.
The John Henry.
Yeah, I heard that
It
was
looked
so.
terrible. Did you see Ludacris?
I did Ludacris with the piece on. It looked bad, but you know it's bad when people go, nah, son, let me give it a chance. Son, it was bad. You know what I mean? Like it really was bad. You know what I mean? So yeah, he doesn't have any. Come on, let a Jew man grab his stash
in front of his wife.
in front of his wife. Listen, there's certain instances I just gotta take an ass whipping if it come to that, right? So Mike Tyson, hey, I like your wife. You know what I'm saying? She looks pretty, and he gonna touch my wife's ass.
You gotta.
I got to knuckle up with
got
Tyson.
to.
You know what I'm saying? And wifey gonna knuckle up too, but I got to. Yo, Tyson, you owe me a fair one. You want a fair one, Black Dot? I have to. And while they rolling me out on the gurney, because he will beat the shit out of me, I get points from my wife because I fought for her honor.
Exactly.
No way in humanly possible you can let another man grab your stack.
All facts.
I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I can't even play a scenario in my head. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Can't do it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Akon and Tekashi 6ix9ine unveiled a remix to Locked Up.
Yeah, I'm hearing this.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
I heard a little skit of them working on the lyrics. And it's the most disgusting thing. What's up with Akon?
Yo, first of all, Akon is an interesting figure. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because he did provide like light and things like that to a bunch of people.
But who gave him the money for that?
China
Okay,
did.
so let's not.
I'm not. That's what I
Right.
was. That's what I was coming
Right.
around to, right? So he did that, but again, at the same time, he kind of sold his country out to China.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not sure where your morals lie or what you believe, like, ends justify the means.
Yeah, but not to that extreme. You got to be very careful because if you are very short-sighted, and it could be very short-sighted to say, we need lights. So China's giving me the money for lights. Chinese don't even like black people. And you are blurple, all right?
And
you know
then
what I'm saying? You are a highly melanated individual.
And if you see the pictures, it was just Chinese workers. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even get
black people out there to work, to make money, to put their lighting in. So sure, they're lighting the way. What do you think they want in return for that, Akon? Right? And he's not FBA, no? No, he's
from Senegal.
Yeah, he's from somewhere else.
He's from Senegal.
Happy belated birthday to Prince Rogers Nelson. Yes, Prince. Keep the good work up, yes. And what's going on in Minnesota. So this is one of them times. Yes, appreciate that.
Somebody said
Bob
he was
Jones.
wearing a lace front, yeah.
Yes, and he was wearing a lace front. Right. So you understand my point? So now you sell your people out for lighting. So on the surface, it looks very noble. I'm pretty sure you made some money on the back end. Right. Now you take the most scrutinized individual in hip-hop. Hip-hop afforded Akon the opportunity to get his chips up a little bit.
Yeah,
I wasn't a super Akon fan, but that song I liked. A few other songs he did, okay, fine. And now you double back and you reconnect with an individual who's a scrutinized individual at this particular time, right? A certified snitch.
So that's on paper.
That's on paper. That's not speculation. Yeah. That ain't what we heard. This is a certified rat. And you take your most iconic song.
Mm-hmm. Easily
your most iconic song.
He is from Senegal, yeah.
And you connect with him for what purpose? And Locked Up, they're going to let you out. He should be locked up. He ratted on people. And he also ordered the hit of people. Mm-hmm. And he probably sold drugs and he was trafficking a bunch of things under the guise of, unless he was put there from the beginning, which makes open up a whole nother can of worms. If he was a government agent from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So this gets sticky, and to have Akon be connected with that,
that's disappointing.
I think it's just disappointing. And maybe I'm missing the point. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody else can tell me where I'm wrong at, and I'd be willing to listen. I'd be willing to listen if you tell me I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
What was I about to say? Oh, the CEO from Reddit, who was also Serena Williams' husband.
Yes.
Resigned, and he said he urged his board to have a black person take his spot.
Yes. Do you think that's honorable, or it's falling in line with all of this other stuff? Because his short speech was, he has to explain to his daughter, because I didn't know Serena, that was her husband.
Yeah.
His daughter, and his daughter will ask him, Daddy, what did you do to help rectify the situation? So he feels that stepping down from his position and having somebody of African American descent fill that role will justify or be his way of throwing a bone out there to say he did his part for racism.
Yeah, I just think it's just more CEOs just stepping down.
Right.
Like, everybody's been stepping down lately.
Absolutely. And it's a gesture on paper to say put a black man in that position. I'm not going to argue with that.
I mean, if it was real, you would have said, because of people, CEOs appoint their
why don't you just appoint your assessor? What do you mean I'm going to recommend? If you the CEO, why don't you be like, I am now putting so-and-so
that's what they
in
do.
this position? Right? So
real.
I'm not sure what kind of gesture that is, or what the ramifications. Everybody's trying to clean their karma. I can tell you that everybody's trying to clean their karma and say no. When it hit the fan, I did my part and things of that nature. And I will say this about, like I said, young white people. Young white people maybe not as racist as their parents.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In a lot of cases. And it's going to take more than just black people to initiate and bring about this change. It's not enough black people in this country. I'm not talking about spiritually what we can do if we all aligned. That's something totally different. I mean, it really will take innovative white people to go, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? So we do need allies in that sense.
But wouldn't that bring about black supremacy?
No, that's not going to bring about black supremacy. That just means this change is not going to happen overnight, but it's going to take innovative or forward-thinking young white people who are not as racist as their parents to at least begin the process. But our fight is our fight. Yes?
Yes.
As Malcolm said, you can donate a little bit of bread, but you can't join us because we got to work our way out of this particular situation. So if stepping down from a position so black people can get in positions of power to hire people who are naturally qualified based on skill set and change the landscape, I'm with that. Yes.
Yes. Oh, get some questions, guys.
Yeah, we're going to go to commercial.
You are tuned into the sound.
Let's go to commercial.
Get your questions ready.
Get your questions ready.
And we'll be back.
And we will be back.
Not yet now.
All right. How y'all doing tonight? Ladies looking good. Listen, I grew up on hip hop. You guys grew up on hip hop. Skinny jeans, dresses, mumble rap, funny hair, auto tunes. What the hell is that? Purses. Oh my God, this is crazy, man. Listen, you guys have been a great audience. Log on to shoutouts.com to pick up the latest in urban apparel. I love you. Good night.
Back.
And we are back. I like to begin this segment by saying, White Lives Matter.
You gotta stop playing, man. What's good with you?
White Lives Matter.
No, they do not.
Starting my own shit. That's right. I'm Uncle Ruckus.
So, in the news this week, there's a KKK leader, quote unquote. He was charged with driving his car through a crowd of protesters.
And they didn't even arrest him, no? Or did they?
They did.
Oh, because in another instance, there was somebody who was shot by and they didn't even arrest him. So we have these. I want to speak about that really quick, because when we start talking about cause and effect, right?
Yes.
So everyone in their house was antsy because for 3 months they couldn't move about, and then the release of that was us taken to the street with extra energy, right?
Right.
While we're taken to the street in extra energy, and you have these supreme racists who are taking a back seat watching the television of white people, regular white people, little Annie on the yard, all saying Black Lives Matter. They even saw some white people ripping down signs, right? What do you think is happening to the real elite white racists in this country?
They're tight.
They're tight, and guess what's happening? They are boiling. So do not be surprised if we have the reverberation of that is we start seeing a couple of mass killings.
Remember,
right? Because that would have to be next. They like, yo, I'm tired of this. And now you seeing, it's one thing to see black people saying it. It's something totally different to see white people saying that. Go ahead.
Did you saw the video of the guy saying, yo, if Trump just sends out that tweet?
Oh yes.
He said we're gonna wipe everybody out in
a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And he meant that. He just said we just sitting around waiting for Trump to send out the tweet.
Yeah, that was chilling, bro.
The matter of fact, the way he said it was alarming. Like, we just waiting for the tweet, and we will wipe you out in a couple of hours.
I was just sorry.
So, you have to be prepared for, because remember, that's what got Trump in office. 8 years of true racists going, ooh, I can't believe we let a nigger in the White House. And then, Trump gave them a chance to release, and Trump said all the things that they wanted to say that they couldn't say. So now, for the first time in history, I'm used to, a few white liberals in the crowd, helping us out. But I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
I mean, in Idaho, little Annie on the yard with a black person, Black Lives Matter.
Downtown, it's families of white people just like, this is like their picnic day, and they're going to protest.
And they're going out to protest. So we know that those true white people, racists, extremists, they haven't had their say.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have a say. So it's not hard to figure out if this thing explodes onto the street and you start seeing white people going, man, fuck this. You know what I mean? So let's be prepared and diligent when we, watching what's going on with that.
Facts.
Yes.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So I read this story about these hospitals that have furloughed, that have gotten like millions of dollars of bailouts while they furloughed a lot of their staff, but their CEOs are still getting paid millions of dollars.
So the CEOs are still getting paid, but the workers, the heartbeat of the hospital, the ones who make the hospital go, they're not getting paid.
Yes.
And they're losing their jobs, or things are being furloughed. But the CEOs.
Yes, HSA Healthcare, and it's one of the wealthiest hospital chains. They had to furlough a bunch of their, because a lot of people, a lot of news stations haven't told you this, but a lot of hospitals during the whole coronavirus, where all these hospitals were supposed to be overrun by dead people, they have no beds, they have no respirators. A lot of hospitals almost went down because they had no patients.
They had zero patients.
And they had to furlough nurses, they had to furlough doctors, and all of that. So that's something like a lot of...
Well, again, we even had people walking around
going into these hospitals
and showing and proving that there was nothing going on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people got all in their emotions because they knew of people who was dying, and those are two separate incidents. But to say the way America was carrying on the news, as you would think, man, you can't even get into a hospital for nothing if you ain't got the coronavirus. And now we're finding out that this wasn't true. These hospitals were empty, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And now the CEOs kept getting paid. That is dirty business.
Very dirty.
That, my friend, is dirty, dirty business.
So get your questions ready.
And let's get some questions.
Let's get it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
I also want to talk about the way people are hanging on Obama's every word when it comes to these protests, like he wasn't a major factor and protecting the police with an executive order that he signed.
He signed the executive order, the Blue Law.
The Blue Alert.
The Blue Alert, which protected the police officers. So again, this is how this magician shit works. Over here, we have coronavirus. Ooh, scary. And over here, now we have George Floyd. And what happened to Corona? Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then we move the cups around. Shh. Right? And here comes the virus or the vaccine.
Yeah.
Wow. How did all these things happen?
Yeah.
And so you got Obama saying, look over here. I'm with the people, but you the one who signed the bill in the first place.
Revisionist history.
Revisionist
It's
history.
amazing.
And it works in real time with this internet stuff.
Oh my gosh!
This internet stuff, you can remix history in 2 years.
No, it didn't.
He also killed Gaddafi, as somebody in the chat room
Yes, he did.
just mentioned, because Gaddafi and them was getting on their own money system, and they wasn't a part of the central banks that come out of dealing with the Rothschilds. So it's a lot that goes on to this.
Painted him like a
Oh man, they painted this dude like he was the worst of the worst.
Somebody said, Malcolm, you got any tattoo ideas to celebrate your upcoming young god? I have
That is a great question.
I do have an idea, but
But you know what?
It actually depends on when he actually gets here.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I might have to get me a tattoo
Oh, come on.
for my grandson.
Come on.
I might have to do it. All right? Celebrate his coming to Earth.
Okay.
Now, I'm dark-skinned. My only thing with tattoos, I'm already dark. How does that work? For dark people, do the knowledge. Peace, King. Peace, King. So how does that work with dark people like myself?
You can still see it.
Do they have neon tattoos?
You can't
now
see those.
Where I could like my shit be glowing.
Yeah, those that ink is like not really good for
It's
me.
not really good.
Yeah.
So, but is there something for me, for dark people?
Yeah, I mean, you can still see mine. I'm not as dark as you, but you can still see mine.
But okay, because I don't want to get out there, but I might go out on the limb and do something for my man. Do something for him.
Somebody said, "What are the books on the table?" That is my book.
That is Urban Excellence.
Hold on.
And you can get that. Yes.
Go to shopurbanx.com.
You get a discount at Shop Urban X, but you can go to Amazon.
You go to Amazon and get it, or Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Nobles.
Or Walmart.com.
Anywhere books are sold, we there.
Yes.
And ours, you get a signed copy.
You get a signed copy, and it's a discounted price.
Discounted price. You really can't beat that.
Facts. And free shipping right now.
And free. Oh man, you better get this book. As a matter of fact, 10 of these better fly off the shelves right now. We had 780 likes and 1,600 people. It's about 42%. I think we can do better than that. Come on, guys. Wipe your feet when you come on in, and let's get this thing popping. Yes.
Somebody said Fox News never report anything accurate. Real talk. They also reported. We forgot to talk about this. Apparently, they found a mirror Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They said a mirror Earth that is with a sun that rotates around, and it's habitable, right? So let's rewind the tape. They told you UFOs are real.
Yes.
Then they told you parallel universes, one going this way and one going that way.
Yeah.
Now they're giving you mirror. Dude, if the alien invasion ain't next, I'll be surprised. All right? So this habitable Earth, or what appears to be like an Earth, which is, I think, 60 light years away, which is nothing. That's a hop, skip, and a jump.
How the hell can they see? Man, listen.
Okay,
They're just making stuff up.
Well, they could be, or it could always have been there, and your ancestors living there chilling right now. I mean, again, I've spoke about going to some alien countries, huh? Oh, they with the mice? Yeah, exactly. That's where the mice are right now. So I've always spoke about, visiting other planets, and would you be interested in that?
Yeah, that'd be lit.
That'd be lit. You could join the Space Force.
I could join us.
They're paying well, probably. They're probably paying well on the Space Force. Yeah?
Somebody said...
A couple of alien thoughts.
Somebody said, what do you think the scenario would be in 12 months from now?
In 12 months, when the vaccine is ready, right? Because they said 12 to 18 months.
Fauci said something about the end of the year.
Well, that's 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just saying. So somebody asked me for the 12-month forecast. That's a very interesting question. The way things are laid out now, I don't know what's going on. What's going to be next after the alien invasion and another plague, and they said an asteroid could be coming, it could be close to Earth. Dude, we are in the middle of, this is a series. Like, if you were an alien and you watching Earth right now, you're like, yo, this season of Earth is litty, son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really, I do believe when we speak of paradigm shifts, that they do require time. So I do believe that you're going to see a lot more death. I hate to say that. You're going to see a lot more structure in the way things are. I think we're going to see a quantum leap in technology over the next 12 months. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to find out, wow, this was what they was doing, or something in regards to, because it's time for the next technological breakthrough. I do believe that free energy will be entered into the lexicon of the people in terms of conversation.
Like fusion?
Like fusion energy and things of that nature. So I think the next 12 months could be equivalent to 6 to 8 years on the planet.
Wow.
In terms of where we could head, because we're in the bowels of this now. You know what I'm saying? We being shitted out, you know, no pun intended, into something else. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I do believe that nothing is going to be normal. You don't want normal. And my whole thing is, if you say you want change, know that change comes at a price. Know that change is going to require sacrifices beyond what most of us are really prepared to give. And in war, we always have casualties of war. They're going to be mental, physical, and spiritual casualties of this particular war. But, you know, if you built for it, and you ready for it, then hold on to your seatbelt, because you can't ask for nothing more than this in terms of whoa. You know what I mean? You can't even relax. You can't even take a minute and chill before you got to turn on the news and be like, oh, shit, Godzilla's here now? Oh, shit. You know what I mean? So let's be prepared and let's enjoy the ride when you understand the grand scheme of things of what we're headed for and what we're built for. Charlemagne said he don't like the word urban. I think he coming for y'all. Well, let him come for us.
Listen, okay.
You know, have a great time, Charlemagne. I don't think he meant that, but you know, you never know.
First of all, you never know, right? So the thing with Charlemagne is, you know, I'm not as strong. I don't have as strong as an opinion on him as you do.
Yes.
I actually listen to his podcast, and the only thing about him, I can tell when he's trying to push an agenda, and it's maddening to listen to. You get what I'm saying? I can tell when he's trying to push Angela Rye out to the people. I can tell when
it's transparent.
It's mad obvious.
Yes,
right?
obvious, yeah.
So you can tell he has been bought by. He's trying to become. This
Oprah.
If you notice, like every Democratic nominee, they go to him.
Right.
They go to Breakfast Club.
And I think he about to leave the Breakfast Club. I wouldn't be surprised because he's becoming too big for the Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? And his position, because I told you, these are like talisman, right? So he has become a talisman, and the talisman, whoever's controlling the talisman controls the people. So whatever they tell Charlemagne to say, whatever they tell him to do, whatever to wear, whatever message to give out, those who control the talisman, that's how voodoo works, or what is considered voodoo. You create an archetype figure to get things done. So he's become a talisman in social media, and he has great influence. He really does. So I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't. So be prepared for him branching off, because he may have become a little too big for the Breakfast Club in general.
Somebody said walking ad space. That's a fact. Like,
yes, he's a walking ad space.
That's a fact.
Right. So, and people see value in that. People who look at dollars and cents based on, they equate your talisman or your avatar with what they can get out of it. So he is worth something in that sense.
And then you know what? Because my man Terry said this yesterday. He said that, you know how celebrities are now coming out and saying, like, yo, I might lose my position over this, but I gotta say this. Now that's become now companies want you to do that.
Right, because it appears that you are part of the people.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying? So they're loosening their restrictions to give you a chance to, almost assimilate with what the people are saying, because our brand is going to eventually do better because of it.
Right. So Charlamagne, he's probably like the first one to actually be that for like iHeartRadio or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's the one that, you think he's going against the grain, but that's actually a part of
the grand scheme. Shout out Terry, Josh, Clint, all the ones who came out. Yesterday for the Taheem. Shout out Taheem. I hadn't seen Taheem in a very long time. So shout out the guards. What's the teacher's name? I always forget. Janad. Peace, Janad. You know what I'm saying? And their beautiful queens that came with them. Appreciate all of you guys for showing Malcolm the love and support that he needs, during these times. You heard?
Any more questions?
Let's get some questions. Come on now.
We've been giving it to y'all, man.
Yeah, we trying to give it to y'all on a Monday. Monday is the warm-up. You know how that go.
Also, there's going to be some new articles up on the blog this week at urbanx.nyc, so don't forget to check that out.
I think I need to write something.
You do need to write something. You're overdue.
I'm overdue.
Yes.
But you've been working me like a slave on this show.
True.
All right? You've been working me like a slave. 2 shows, a HULC series all week. And then guess what? When sports come back, Eli show comes back in. I think I'm working harder than Charlamagne. Yeah. I'm working harder than Charlamagne. Yeah. Because Eli and his boy Freddie like, yo, Dad, the NBA coming back. So now I got to get in that mode and talk about that kind of stuff.
Somebody say, what are your thoughts on Joseph Gregory Hallett? So apparently that is the new King of England.
Oh, yeah, but like I said, we just kind of touched base on that.
Started reading and watching videos on that. So I don't really know. I want to actually go down that rabbit hole because that looks crazy.
But I'm not too familiar with all of the details.
Yeah, because it was going like 3 different ways. I was like, whoa,
so I kind of, but I see the Duke of Tears did a piece on Black Magic 363. I think it did a 2-part series. I'm not sure. And I always lean on Asir when it comes to his ability to orate the history. You know what I mean? From a moralist perspective that doesn't seem so biased. He just kind of gives it up, him and his queen, Selena, the Empress of 10,000 years or something. I always screw her name up, but I love the queen. And, they did something on Black Magic 363. I believe...
That was last week, right?
Oh, yeah, last week. Yeah. And I believe he gave a real good breakdown on it. So I would defer to Asir, the Duke.
Somebody said, is Hip Hop Decoded available? It's only available in ebook.
It's only available in ebook, but I'm starting to get a lot of pressure to reprint.
Somebody said, like, what's up?
So I think I'm going to have to just go ahead and reissue maybe a limited 500 order of, the original joint. Put a new cover on it for those who have the original. You'll never see that again. And just kind of do that for those who want that.
Somebody said, when are you doing a live HULC? We definitely missed that last week.
You know what? Maybe Wednesday we'll do a live HULC because I said I either want it to be the first Wednesday of the month or the last Wednesday. So maybe this Wednesday I'll talk to my team and if we can get a live HULC in there where I could just answer questions live, but I don't want it to take away from my ability to really focus in on the questions. So that's why we didn't really get to that.
Like questions ready, bro.
Yeah, them questions have to be ready, and so maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll just keep with because I don't check the questions before advance. I may glance over them, but I don't really give in depth because I want my answers always to be just honest. And these are just generic answers. I'll soon be doing consultations. We'll talk about that at a later time where I can truly get in depth and help you. With whatever the situation is that you're going through, but we'll present that soon. So that's how that's gonna work.
Oh, so with that being said, somebody said Eric Johnson said they saw an episode of Vlad where Lord Jamal had your book. I remember.
Yeah, shout out Lord Jamal, absolutely. I remember that. Shout out to God.
What else? What are your thoughts about human trafficking during this pandemic?
Well, during the pandemic. is probably slowed down because nothing was moving.
Yeah.
And if that was done on purpose to kind of isolate those who are moving, because in order for sex trafficking and human trafficking, there has to be planes, trains, automobiles, underground. They say there are underground passageways from Hollywood all over the place that they move. Most of that stuff takes place. So we thought that the Mexican cartels were doing that just for drugs. Not necessarily so. There are a lot of things moving on these underground. How feasible is the Gisela Law Global Reset? Bow City? That's the first time I've heard of that. So I'm going to have to research that and hopefully get back to you. What will happen when the cops stop responding to crimes? Crime will go up. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that now, Donnie Austin. They stop responding. It's going to, it's easy money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we do notice in states that have open carry law, if everybody got a gun, then nobody has a gun. But in the sense that crime really doesn't spike that much, because if you sitting on it and I'm sitting on it,
yeah,
who really wants that smoke?
Yeah.
So, in those states, the crime doesn't spike as much as you think it does. All right. Here in Denver, job trafficking and sex trafficking is bad. Okay.
Somebody says, does homosexuality take away from the male energy that stabilizes the family unit? See, I don't know if that's the case, because it wouldn't be a family unit. Right?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about family unit in the traditional sense, it's man, woman, and child. Right. And that's the code in which how we further exist on. And even homosexuals have to admit, a penis got to go into a vagina, so that even they can be here. So when we go against that, now, what you do in your personal life is your business. So I've always stated that on this show, that if you like it, I love it. But in the grand scheme of things, from an agenda standpoint or for our survival, if everybody went that way, we would cease to exist. So we have to be careful. Thank you, Trey Baby.
Trey. And I don't mean it wouldn't be a family. I mean, like.
But in terms of how you structure your family for love, that is an individual choice. That is an individual choice you make. I don't even want to waste energy trying to put energy into that, because that is a choice that you have made.
Thanks.
But when we start talking universal law, and in the grand scheme of things, we need a penis to go into a vagina so we can bring about a baby so that we can continue on. But how you choose to live your personal life, because that's a waste of energy for me, and I don't waste energy on that.
Bo City, thank you for the donation.
Yes, thank you. They was talking about traveling to other planets. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm gonna get me some twat shit. I got to touch down.
Some alien.
Got to get me a little bit of alien tail.
Somebody said there's a 12-step recovery model for post-traumatic slave disorder. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I gotta check that out.
And obviously, if I'm getting some alien twat, my wife is gonna be like, "Well, now, nigga, I got to get me a little bit of alien shit too." Now, some old magical nigga with 2-3 penises and shit and 6 tongues is slamming my wife and shit, and he has the superpowers to have me, decapitated, and I can just sit there and watch that shit. Nope, you know what? Scratch that shit. Scratch that shit.
Eric Johnson, The Way to the Superior Man was a good book. Great book. Every man and women should read that book as well.
All right.
Yeah, so with that being said, guys.
We
appreciate you.
We appreciate the love. Wait a minute. Let me go check we had 900 likes. Can we get 1,000? I know y'all spoiling me. The last 2 shows, we done had 1,000 likes. And, I'm getting spoiled now. Can you get me up to 1,000 likes? I think it has something to do with the algorithms, and it helps us out. And Malcolm need Pampers. And
I do need Pampers.
And milk.
We got a lot of Pampers, though.
And you're going to need more Pampers.
True.
Milk and, onesies. And this baby going to be pooping and crying and pooping and crying and pooping and crying. And pooping and crying. You know what I mean? So let's get those likes up. 925, 9:37. They coming in.
Don't forget to add us on Facebook, Urban X on Facebook. Don't forget to like us.
Yes.
Don't forget to subscribe to the blog. We're going to be running a Juneteenth sale.
Yes.
And the only way you're going to be able to get the code is either through the app or in the Urban X blog email.
This is an experiment. Can I hit the like button? Do I get one like?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I'm talking shit. I ain't get my own like. All right. We in. We like our shit too. You know, all these, $9.99. Oh, we up. We up. One more like. Come on, can I get one? Yeah. There it is.
Thank you, guys.
There it is.
Thank you, guys.
There it is. There it is.
Funny.
We have reached that mark. We appreciate you guys. We really, really do. Did you see, did the Bruce Lee episode?
It did, and I missed it.
I missed it, so I'm pretty sure ESPN will play it again. I wanted to see that. We were at the baby shower. We kind of got a little late. But I will definitely, we appreciate 1,000 likes. We appreciate that. This is a labor of love. We try to put this in there for you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And we love, your participation here with us. And we thank you. And for everyone who made a donation to us,
we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. If I didn't get your name in there because we was trying to do the show, we appreciate you. And with that being said,
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and share everywhere.
Everywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
To tell another friend.
To tell another friend.
And with that being said, peace.
Peace.